Hello, and welcome to another episode of Grammar Gurus. On today's episode, we will talk about the future simple tense. We'll talk about when we use the future simple tense, how we form the future simple tense, and we'll look at a few example sentences. We use the future simple tense to talk about things that will happen or things that are going to happen after now. Things that happen after now. And that can be any time after now. That could be a few seconds from now. That could be a few hours from now, or it could be years or decades or centuries from now. But you may have noticed from the intro that we have two different ways of making the future simple tense. We have the helper verb will, and we have the phrase going to. When do we use them? When do we use will, and when do we use going to? Well, will and going to sometimes can be used in almost the same way, and sometimes they're a little bit different. But there's one clear way in which they are different. First, let's talk about will. Will is used when you make a decision to do something in the future. An immediate decision, a decision right in this moment. So for example, if the phone is ringing, you might say, I'll get it.
I'll get it.
That means that you just decided that you will, in the future, answer the phone. You didn't plan on the phone ringing, you just heard the phone ring, and then decided in that moment that you will get the phone. So you can say, I will get it, or I'll get it. Going to is used when we're talking about plans. So for example, you might say, I am going to watch a movie later. I am going to watch a movie later. You are making a plan to watch a movie later. Now, if you asked a friend of yours, if they wanted to come, you might say, I am going to watch a movie later. Do you want to come? And your friend would say, sure, I'll go. Because your friend is just deciding in this moment to go to see the movie. They didn't have the plan before, so they use will. You had the plan before, so you use going to. And that's really the big difference between going to and will. Now let's take a look at the form of the future simple tense. We form the future simple tense in two different ways. One with will and another with going to. So first we'll talk about will. Will is the easiest form to use. It's a very easy tense to make in English. So let's take a look at how we do that. We take a subject plus the helper verb will plus the main verb. And that's really it. That's it. You don't need anything more. You just need the subject, will, and the verb. So if you want to say, I will go, you can change it to she will go, they will go, you will go, we will go. It's always the same construction, always the same word, will. One thing to note, however, is that sometimes when we have a pronoun, words like I, you, she, he, it, we, they, we can make a contraction with will. And a contraction is when you take two words and you put them together to form one shorter word with a little apostrophe. If we're looking at a pronoun like she, and we have she will, we can take she and will and put them together, add an apostrophe, and it will become she'll. So she'll go, or I will go, I'll go. We will see, we'll see. Now, for some people that are learning English, it's not easy to hear that little LL at the end of the word. But it's very important to understand the difference between I go and I'll go. I'll go has a little L at the end. I go is present simple tense and it's not the future. Let's take a look at an example sentence. She will answer the phone. Let's try and find the subject. What is the subject of the sentence? The who or the what that's doing the action? She. And what is the main action? The main verb, the action that's taking place in the sentence? Answer. And are there any other words that help make this tense the future simple tense? Yeah, we have will. She will answer the phone. Now let's take a look at how to make questions in the future simple tense using will. First, let's start with some yes-no questions. Questions that can be answered using yes or no. To do this, we just take our helper verb, will, and we move it to the front of the sentence. And now we have a question. Will she answer the phone? And we can answer this with yes or no. But we need something more than just that. To answer this question, we use yes plus the subject plus the helper verb. So yes, she will. If we answer with no, we have to use not. So we say, no, she will not. Now, will and not can be put together to form a contraction. But will and not make a very strange contraction. It's not willn't, it's won't. So, no, she won't. Will and not together form the contraction won't. No, she won't. What if simply yes or no isn't really enough? What if we need more information? So what we do is we take our more information question words, questions like when, where, why, and how, and we put that in front of our yes-no question. So let's try where. Where will she answer the phone? She will answer the phone in her car.
Hello?
Why? Why will she answer the phone? She will answer the phone because it is ringing. When will she answer the phone? She will answer the phone in 5 seconds.
Hello?
And how? How will she answer the phone? She will answer the phone in a funny voice. Let's take a look at how to make questions using who or what to replace the subject of the sentence. All we do is we take our subject and we take it out and we put who or what in there. We use who when we're talking about people, and we use what when we're talking about things that are not people. So let's look at our sentence. She will answer the phone. We just take she and we replace it with who. So the question is, who will answer the phone? And we can answer, the woman will answer the phone. Alright, now let's take a look at how to make negatives in the future simple tense using will. To do this, we just put not after the helper verb, in this case, will. So our original sentence, she will answer the phone, becomes she will not answer the phone. And remember, we can take will and not and put them together to form that very strange contraction won't, and we can say she won't answer the phone. Let's take a look at the form of the future simple tense using going to. To form the future simple tense using going to, we take a subject plus the verb to be in the present tense is, am, or are, plus going to, plus our main verb. So let's take a look at an example sentence. They are going to eat sandwiches. What is the subject of this sentence? The who or the what that's doing the action? They. And what is the main action verb? The main action that is happening? Eat. And are there any other words that are between the subject and the main verb that help make this tense the future simple tense? Yeah, we have 3. We have are, going, and to. So are going to work together to make this the future simple tense. Let's see if we can make some questions with it. First, let's make some yes/no questions. Questions that can be answered using yes or no. To do this, we just take the helper verb. And in this case, it's just the verb to be. And in this sentence, that takes the form of are. So we take that verb to be and we move it to the front of the sentence. So we have are, we move it to the front, and it becomes, are they going to eat sandwiches? And we can answer with yes or no. But remember, we need something more than just yes or no. So to answer, we use yes plus the subject plus the helper verb. So in this case, yes, they are. If we want to answer with no, we have to have not. So, no, they are not. Now, are and not can be pushed together to form a contraction, aren't. No, they aren't. Okay, what if we want to use some more information questions? What if simply yes or no isn't enough? Well, we just take our more information questions, when, where, why, and how, and we put it in front of the yes/no question. So let's try when. We take when and we put it the front of the sentence, and it becomes, when are they going to eat sandwiches? And I can answer, they are going to eat sandwiches next week. Let's try why. Why are they going to eat sandwiches? They are going to eat sandwiches because they are hungry. Where? Where are they going to eat sandwiches? They are going to eat sandwiches outside. And how? How are they going to eat sandwiches? They are going to eat sandwiches with a fork and knife. Okay, now let's take a look at how to make questions using who or what. We just take that subject they and we take it out and we replace it with who or what. So our original sentence is, they are going to eat sandwiches. We just take they out and we put in who. Who is going to eat sandwiches? And we can answer, well, they are going to eat sandwiches. Now let's use what. What is going to eat sandwiches? The dogs are going to eat sandwiches. Okay, now let's take a look at how to make negatives in the future simple tense using going to. We put not after our helper verb. The verb to be is am are. So let's take a look at our original sentence. They are going to eat sandwiches. We can just put not after are, so it's they are not going to eat sandwiches. We can take are and not and we can put them together, add an apostrophe, and it becomes they aren't going to eat sandwiches. Okay, now it's time for the tough stuff. First, when we're using that going to phrase for the future simple tense, you may hear people say the word gonna. Well, gonna is not really a proper English word, but it's a shorter version of going to. You can only use gonna to replace going to in the future simple tense. So for example, when we have our sentence, they are going to eat sandwiches, we can say, they are gonna eat sandwiches. You cannot use gonna when you're talking about going to somewhere. You cannot say, I am gonna the mall, to replace I am going to the mall in the present continuous tense. You can only use it in the future simple tense. Okay, well that's it for this episode of Grammar Gurus. I hope you enjoyed learning about the future simple tense. Don't forget to click here and subscribe, and if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments box below. Thanks.